Hi everyone, welcome back to Coffee, Books, and Rain. I'm Rachel with my coffee, with my books, and my reviews. No rain, but that's okay. We will make it through on this beautiful sunny day. And today we are diving into a book that I actually finished this morning. It was a very quick book in my personal opinion because it just was of such an easy, cozy mystery read. So, we are diving into Murder on the Books, a cozy bookshop mystery by T.C. Tempio. Now, I've read at least one other T.C. Tempio book. Again, it was I want to say it was like something about a cat sanctuary, and there were lots of little cats, and it was like a murder mystery dinner theater, and somebody actually got murdered, and it was really pretty good. I enjoyed it. Now, I haven't read that full little collection of them yet, and I haven't actually clicked to see if this is the first. Oh, it is the first book in a brand new cozy series. I was just about to click that to check. I'm glad. I'm glad that I didn't start in the middle of a series where we've already had backstory on a particular character, because it felt like when I picked this up that we were just getting introduced to Charlie. So, newly retired mystery writer Charlie James returns to her small hometown only to find herself amidst a real life murder mystery in this first book in a brand new cozy bookshop mystery series by award winning and national best selling author T.C. Tempio. 30-year-old Charlotte James, better known by her mystery fans as C.J. Barrett, decides to take a break from writing her popular Stephen Shepard mystery series. Leaving New York City, she moves back to her hometown of Austin to wind down, recuperate, and maybe come up with some new ideas for her books. Settling into her new life, Charlie reunites with her long-term friend and baker, Zane, who is about to open a charming double storefront. But while Zane is ready to open her cafe, her business partner Sheila unexpectedly departs town, bailing on her bookshop and leaving nothing but a note behind. Charlie is more than happy to take over, but when she finds Sheila's body in a chest in the store's basement, things take a dramatic turn. Now Charlie has to juggle the opening of her bookstore, a stoic but attractive Philadelphia detective, and a stray cat, all while solving Sheila's murder Shepherd style, before the killer can strike again. It is a cozy mystery. It was first published on July 1st of 2025, so just a few days ago, and is approximately 233 pages in the Kindle. I want to say when I read this, now I did have the ebook. I don't think mine was that short. Now that isn't that the funny thing? Sometimes mine will say it's like closer to 233 when the e-reader edition will often say it's like 299. Well, I think that's kind of how it was on my end. Is I want to say my phone said it was closer to maybe 250 260 pages, and this one says it's 233. So I don't know if there were other pictures that were not in my NetGalley ARC release, but that's okay because I got the full story, or at least I feel confident that I did. It is cozy mystery, so please understand that it's pretty low stakes. It's meant to be a fast read. It's meant to draw you into the characters and for you to want to, I guess, follow the characters more in the future to see what else kind of comes up. But it's not going to be overly thrilling. It's not going to be overly suspenseful. There's going to be a couple small puzzles and curiosities, but it's not going to be one of those rack your brains sort of things, in my personal opinion. Now, all of that is my personal opinion. And I thought it was very cute. I like good cozy mysteries. It is one of my more favorite genres that even when I'm not doing them for this channel, I will pick those up and that'll kind of be something that I will read. I think even before I started this channel, Cleo Coyle was one of my more favorites just simply because it was like a coffee shop murder mystery. And so me and coffee shops, of course, like we go to hand in hand, and me and coffee, just in general. But because I used to work at coffee shops, I also kind of put myself in those shoes of like, man, if all of this happened, I think I'd have to like move coffee shops or something. Anyway, so let us dive into Charlie James's life. Now, we do first meet Charlie as she is driving her way from New York City towards her hometown of Austin. And it's not too far away from Philadelphia. I think they talk about it being like an hour or so away. It's really not that far, but her agent is on the phone with her at the time the book opens, and his name is Max, and he is trying to convince her to come back. But of course, that's what an agent wants. He wants you to keep, or they want you to continue to publish and produce books so they can get whatever percent they get. Well, CJ, Charlotte, or Charlie, she goes by Charlie to her friends. I would assume Charlotte to maybe her parents, maybe to teachers, and CJ to her readers who do not know who she is. So she's been able to keep a pretty quiet life. So when she gets back home to her small town of Austin, her hometown where she did go to high school, she is able to kind of, I guess, fall back in pretty easily. Kind of picking up the pieces, and Zane, someone she knew from high school, is kind of like still her best friend. So that's really cool. I can honestly not say I talk to anybody from high school anymore. There's a couple people I kind of really wish I did. One guy was super cute, but I've kind of had a crush on that guy since like second grade, so there's no getting over that. But my friends in general, they were absolutely lovely. We were definitely a nerdy group. Now some played soccer and stuff like that, but I had my nose in books all of the time. I listened to boy bands and did just the nerdy stuff, probably, all that. Moving back to Charlotte, though, she seemed pretty cool. I don't know if she was really part of what group she was in, but let's just say her and Zane hit it off. The town doesn't really remember her a ton, which is fine, but they also don't know she's CJ Barrett, so they don't know that she's a pretty famous writer. I guess it would be like somebody being like Patterson or somebody, or the Stephen King, and you just don't know him. You're just like, hey, Steve, but you don't know him as Stephen King. That's just really cool. So I hope he gets some level of anonymity, even though we see his face everywhere. Charlie, she meets up with Zane. Zane's a little stressed because her partner, who is supposed to open this double storefront. Now, from what it sounds like, is that they, I don't know if they come as a set or what, or if there's a door that they can walk through to get from one to the other, but Zane is going to open a bakery on one side, and she's a really good baker, it sounds like, and she's currently working at a bakery at another place, but she's not the owner of that one. Charlie, on the other hand, doesn't really have any real prospects or potentials for jobs, but she does know a thing about books. And so when Zane poses the question to her of like, hey, I don't know where my partner went. I don't think she's coming back. The text message she left me was just really vague, and I don't even know what the text message said, but sounds as though she wasn't coming back. So if you want to pick up those pieces and open the bookshop next door, then Zane doesn't have to try to figure out how to get out of this lease. So Charlie's like, sure, I've got some in savings. That's probably a pretty cool idea. I need something to do while I'm kind of taking a sabbatical. And Zane is probably the only person that knows that she is CJ Barrett. Leo's making little noises. What, honey? What, baby? What? Give me just a few minutes, okay? But back to it. So they go in and go ahead and do it. And so Charlie goes into the shop. She looks around. She's like, ooh, I need to work on some wiring, something like flip a switch or something. So she calls. Actually, I think Zane gives her the number of Jeff. It ends up being like a person she went to prom with in high school. So she's like, oh, he's cute. Well, there's also this cute detective named Ian Grant. So, I don't know. I don't know who she's going to choose ultimately, but she doesn't really choose in this book. I'm just letting you know. But there's definitely some chemistry between her and this Ian Grant. Um, I really thought it was adorable, but while Jeff is there working on some wiring, Charlie goes down to the basement, trips over something, and kind of stumbles into this chest that's down there. Thus, it opens, revealing the body of Sheila. Sheila didn't leave, Sheila was exited out of life. And sadly, now we have to deal with this whole rigmarole. So, the local sheriff comes by, or local PD comes by, ends up being somebody they went to high school with as well, and her name is Barbara. But all Charlie and Zane can think of her as is Barbie, because I guess when they were in high school, she was a fairly airheaded, potentially, individual. However, now she's kind of become a little bit of a hard ass. Totally fine. People can change, grow up, and become better than they were. However, Barbie is also kind of crushing major hard on Ian Grant, this detective from Philadelphia. You can clearly tell it as well. She is not shy about her feelings. Well, Charlie's a little more aloof. It seems as though Ian's a little bit more drawn to Charlie. Just saying, sorry, but he's probably friend-zoned Barbie because they are colleagues and work together. So I'm sad. I'm sorry that I have to break that to Barbie. It's probably not going to happen while y'all are working together. Just letting you know. There is a resident cat of this bookshop. Well, he was out in the alley and he decided to come in and choose Charlie as his human, as cats do. I don't have a cat, but I've debated on that. I've debated on getting one. And of course, they call him Poe. Well, I don't say of course. Well, I did say of course, but that's fine because he's a little black cat with a couple of white spots, like kind of on his chest and I think on his little lip. So he's not a tuxedo, I don't think fully, but he's got a couple of small white spots that are just kind of like a little white out here, a little white out on his little chest. But they call him Poe. And he does tend to go everywhere with Charlie, riding in the car, that sort of thing. So, mystery starts kind of going down from there. And Charlie does kind of get targeted. She gets run off the road. The closer she gets to trying to solve this mystery. Now, why is Charlie trying to solve this mystery? Because her, in her mystery writer brain, still wants to try to solve this mystery. She loves puzzles. And I totally get it. But, come on. Sometimes... Now, she is very good at giving Detective Grant some of the information that she gets. Okay, she doesn't give it all to him, but she does give some of it to him. So he's doing fine. He's getting the information. However, she just seems to turn up more information than she actually gives him. She does a couple of other little slightly underhanded sneaky things as well. And she talks to a couple people probably that she should have pointed Mr. Ian Grant to, that she doesn't. So she's not impeding the investigation. She's just not divulging all of her information. But anyway, let's just say it was a good, cozy, I say low stakes, but there is a point where Charlie has a gun pointed to her head. So, I mean, I guess that's about as low-ish stakes as we've got. Nobody's really, I'm trying to remember, held hostage. Nobody's held hostage that I can remember. However, she does kind of put her nose out there. So if it gets kind of popped a little bit, pop, then, when you kind of get too close to a cat, and they're like, pop, pop, pop. But anyway, I thought it was a super cute book. I really enjoyed it. I liked diving into this new kind of series that I didn't know was coming, but I'm now glad I picked it up. T.C. Lo Tempio seems to be a cozy mystery writer that I enjoy each time I pick them up. Now, I'm not going to say that they're creating anything new. They're not overly innovative in the realm of cozy mystery, but they have fairly likable characters, just enough tension to make me want to keep reading it. Not so much drama or high stakes or cringiness or anything like that that would turn me away. And honestly, this is a perfect just poolside read to throw in your bag and take with you. I did actually go to the pool earlier today, and instead of bringing my phone or my tablet, I brought a physical book. I was so proud of myself. Why? Because every time I bring my phone or my tablet while I'm wearing sunglasses, I can't see the screen because I guess my sunglasses polarize the screen and then I can't see it very well. So anyway, I brought a physical book and read like 90% of it, so I'll probably review that one as well. But with all of that being said, let's just say Charlie and Zane have now started off on their journey. Things do get resolved in a fairly good way, and I look forward to more mysteries in this Cozy Bookshop mystery series. I would love to know if these are going to inspire any books by Charlie while she's in Austin. I don't see why she can't write, if she wants to, while she's in Austin. Otherwise, she can just be the owner of a bookstore and let it be done. It's called Mainly Mysteries, but spelled like Maine, Mainely. And that is from Sheila, and so she just didn't want to change it. Charlie was like, well, most of the paperwork's been done and I don't feel like kind of changing any of that right now. Does it come into account? Maybe. But I'm not going to tell you why or how. You'll have to figure that out. But thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If you have not liked and subscribed already, I hope you will. With all of that being said, have a great one, and I'll see you on the next page.